Hello everyone, my name is Stanisław Frejak, I am professional one dan. This is the fourth round of the not the London Open tournament. Chun Fang 6 dan and Xiao Yicheng 6 dan. Xiao Yicheng takes black, plays this jump, which is not as commonly seen as a push or a knight's move, because it leads a weakness. White can push through and then choose to cut from one side or the other, but if white cuts from this side, then it becomes the same shape as after a double hane, joseki. I mean this. It leads to the same result. And if white cuts from that side, then since the ladder doesn't work, it's not great for white. It would be good for white if the ladder works, but for now the ladder doesn't work. And so white plays a ladder maker on the other side of the board. And yeah, if black answers, then I believe white would just go for this. Black can play a ladder breaker around here. It would also be a normal game. I believe black can also play this way. But white would achieve the goal of enclosing black from both sides on the top left. But black decided to not answer to this move of white. So on the top side, black has three options. Descend at A. This secures black's shape against the cuts on the second line. Kosumi at B, probably the most common move, and also this push at C, strong move, and it was played in the game. This move is the most active out of the three. It puts pressure on white, and maybe white can consider answering, but perhaps white didn't want to give black center to go back to that other corner. Anyway, white did not answer. White continued in this corner, and it might be a bit unexpected, but it's common to leave this shape just like this, even though there is an attachment. So usually the go wisdom is that we should answer attachments, but actually this particular attachment can be left unanswered because neither black nor white have any very good way of continuing. For now, black continues on the top side. If black pincers white, then for sure white will play this hane, and there will be weaknesses in black's shape. Cut at A, and then also the push at B with continuations of other cuts. So it is reasonable to just jump, forcing white to add a move on the side. And now black can start dreaming of a big moyo, so I would certainly consider a move around here. But in the game, black finally answers to white's attachment and creates a group on the bottom side. White doesn't need to continue locally, because if black plays here, white can play on the side, and if black plays on the side, then white can always, certainly white can always get life in the corner or go out. There is a weakness in black's shape which will be used later in this game. White approached black's corner, and maybe some of you would approach from the other side, but I think that black's shape on the black's framework on the top side is quite efficient this way, because there are two walls facing each other which are located far away from each other, so black can dream of a very big moyo, and that's why white goes from this side, thinking that there is still enough space between black stones to create a group. When I looked at this move, I expected black to kick and jump. It might look counterintuitive because white plays a stone on the side and reduces black's potential, creates a group for himself. It might look comfortable for white, but because of black's weakness, this continuation of white might be a bit risky. Later black can still attack white's shape in one way or another. So I think that if we consider black's wall on the left side a big strength, then black should really go for this kick. Secure the points in the corner and push white towards his thickness. But maybe black thought a bit differently. White can play on the third line, and remember that there is this combination A, B and C, either from this side or from that side, which would effectively lead to splitting black stones. But black, on the other hand, wouldn't like to now add a move like this, certainly not, or even like that, because then white develops on the top side quite efficiently. So black maybe thought of these weaknesses and chose another plan. Black played the pincer. To me, at first it looked that this is a little bit over-concentrated, and it gives white a chance to change the side. So for sure now white will not jump out, because there is no way to fight against this stone. Black is strong everywhere. So jumping out is usually used for fighting, and here we cannot fight. Instead, we can play in the corner. This is certainly possible, but then black's framework on the top side is certainly big. And then another option play from the other side, which leads often to similar variations as invading the corner, but it's a bit more interesting. There are more variations. White played the double approach, but a far one. Interesting move. How to answer with black? We can consider Kosumi to the outside. Certainly we want to split white stones. But then I believe white's plan is to play in the corner, Hane, and if black plays from this side, white can continue like this. It looks quite efficient for white. Maybe black can play from the other side, but then white has a group in the corner. So we can certainly think of other ideas, like this shoulder hit. It also splits white. This attachment also splits white, and this can be certainly compared to such a variation. Now that there is just one stone difference between this variation and the variation which we might be a bit more familiar with, we can just consider possible continuations and think in which case white stone at A will be located better. So there are two main possibilities. White can Hane and probably then go into the corner, or white can just go into the corner. If white plays Hane and then goes into the corner, then black is usually more likely to block and white can create a group on the side, because white already made a bad exchange, AB, which strengthened black. On the other hand, if white goes into the corner directly, then black is more likely to block from this side. Now white cannot use the trick of Hane and playing here, because quite likely black will choose some other move, as white already made a bad exchange in the corner. So the usual continuation would be to crawl. And then what do you think? Considering that the stone is not at A but at B, should white rather play like this? Or like that? Maybe white thought that if it goes this way, then there is still a very annoying weak point in white's shape. Black can play here, maybe white can connect the stones, but there are weaknesses in white's shape left. Does white have a tesuji here? Is good for white, I believe. This, well, it's a good exchange for white, and then white can still continue like that. Maybe this is also good for white. So maybe with this tesuji, white doesn't need to be afraid of that continuation of black. But still, certainly there is more of a weak point than if white stone was located not at D but at E. White chooses this move in the game, and black actually blocks, because now this would look very comfortable for white. There is still a possibility of pulling out the stone and white gets a big corner. So black blocks. And then we have such a variation. And now, is this stone located better than that one? A better than B? It's good that it's further from the wall. This is a good news for white. On the other hand, if we have a stone here and black pincers, then we have such a good continuation. This is quite happy for white, but maybe in such a situation, black might go down. Will white play on the side? Then black has a big continuation. This might be risky for white. How will it go? Probably white will manage to live, but it's a bit risky. And if white blocks, then of course the good side of this stone that facilitates that Hane connect on the second line is gone. So in this case, it's better to have a stone at A, further from the wall. We don't like stones next to walls. Black pincers white. That's reasonable, of course. White chose this move because it breaks black's shape. So it looks very natural. It goes through. Can black still connect with the tesuji or cut white? This is unreasonable. White is getting a very good shape. Maybe it's a better order to play here first, and if white goes like this, then we can close white. But probably even this variation favors white, because black split white, but white manages to create a healthy group in the center. Even like this. maybe possible to even give a ponuki, but probably bad. Probably we don't want to give a ponuki. Alright, black didn't want to go into these complications. Black just played from the other side and then secured the shape. On one hand, it looks very good for white that white split black's shape. White managed to go through, black will not have a huge moyo in the center. But then black also got much stronger, and this means that this stone of white is pretty thin. White wanted to help it badly and chose this attachment, trying to go out basically with the stone, or to create a base. If black plays from the top, then white can create a base. So if white just played here, then it would mean certainly that white goes out. But This move is more flexible. It asks a question. Will you give me a base or will you let me go out? I understand white playing this move because white still wants to put a little bit of pressure on that wall of black. White doesn't want to just get swallowed, let black stones connect with a lot of points. On the other hand, it might be also reasonable to play from the other side because it's a big move and it threatens a slide at A. And if black plays around here, or I don't know, around here, then there is still an edge, there is still some edge. But white chose this active move. Black goes up, not wanting to face any counter hane from white. White pushes out and black still doesn't feel like closing white because black's shape is a bit thin. Black extends up and white continues. And at this point black played a very steady and interesting move. What is more to be done in the center? I cannot enclose the opponent, so let's go down. This move is very strong. It destroys a base of white. White can create a very comfortable base if white plays there. It certainly puts a pressure on this group. It also creates a possibility of playing a move around A, which might help to link black stones. For now, white needs to somehow strengthen the group on the right side, certainly not the marked one, but the 4 stones. And a natural move would be to go up. But white chooses something more interesting. White plays this knight's move. If now black plays from this side, white might already enclose black's wall. But if black plays from that side, now or later, white can continue around here and get a very beautiful shape. Maybe better than just playing here. Maybe black can push once and then just getting a turn. Look at this shape. So white played this flexible knight's move, and I believe that black needs to add a move on the top. It might lead to complications if white tries to go out. Then what? Will black connect? Will it happen like this? Or will black start a fight? Maybe unreasonable to fight like this because white is safe on the outside. So maybe if we are afraid of this move, we can also play a knight's move. But black played something completely different. Black attacked white group on the side. And white can now turn and block black, but black apparently doesn't care because there is this possibility of linking from below. One might argue that it's not completely connected yet. If white wants to cut black, then it's possible to cut like this, but then black lives. Then maybe we cut from this side. But then I think we can expect this move. And after all, black is connected. Yes, black is connected. White can also ignore this move, but then black will also manage to live. So, white can certainly be happy with the fact that he enclosed black and helped that group at the same time, the group on the right side. But now it's time to come back to the 3 stones, because they were just attacked. We can certainly play in the corner, but it doesn't even give us 2 eyes yet. And black doesn't need to continue. Black is already happy by getting stronger here, and maybe later black will attack white. So maybe we should push and jump out, but it also feels like giving black everything black wants. Strength here, strength there, still white's group is floating in the center. A bit difficult position for white. White chose a tesuji, this move, and go up, but now white cannot capture this stone. So what is the tesuji about? It created a weakness in black's shape, but white is also losing 2 stones. But white continues with a brilliant move. Difficult to come up with this one. Attachment from the other side. It feels natural for black to go up, but then white can hane and capture a stone. Or if black wants to fight, then white plays here, here. Black tries to win the semi, the capturing race, but white has this move in center, so white will manage to win the semi in the end. So black can do nothing. Trying to oppose that move of white might only lead to more trouble. So instead, black just played in the corner, forcing white to add a move. Probably black still wants to keep pressure on this group, but for now black decided to make one exchange and then probably play this move. But when black played this one, white answered in a creative way. White attached. I don't really understand why white thought of this move, because after this move, there is certainly a weakness in white's shape, and black can, for example, go like this and that, and then white is cut. So white's only way to save the stones is to attack black's group, but it's very risky, and I don't understand taking this risk. Yeah, white can also play like that, but then black is very happy splitting white. And black also didn't continue in this way. Maybe black was afraid to do it for now. I think it's also possible to leave it. Did white stone change anything about that cut? I think the variations we considered were not concerned with that stone of white at A. But black wedged to counter white's tesuji. Now if white answers like this, black can very neatly cut white. And if white plays around here, then what is black's gain? Probably the possibility to continue with this move, but yeah, I am not really sure what happened around here and why players chose these exact moves. Now white played one Atari, maybe with a thought to squeeze black. But then white didn't continue, and this was a mistake, because the squeeze is very good, it helps the group a lot. But then white might have thought that this move might be considered gotten by black, but black might play here, and even though white captures 2 stones, white already loses so much, and white might have been concerned about it, but he would get a lot of strength, so it's possible to leave 5 stones behind. White anyway got here and outside, and here quite much strength. But white was afraid, so white now added a move on the side, but then black can continue with this turn, and it's already very powerful. It's better than playing Tiger's Mouth. So now black plays here, and white's group is under very heavy pressure of black. All these stones of black are so strong. So maybe white needs to add a move to live. But does this move even give life? Well, I believe it should, but maybe it's not completely clear. So maybe that's why white didn't play this move. White captured this one, hoping that it might be center, because after this, well, black's shape is so much harassed, but black just didn't care and played another move, threatening the group. And now it becomes already very risky. Maybe it's still possible to live, but certainly these will be already very difficult variations. So white thought that no, he cannot accept answering, and played here once, thinking that this certainly threatens capturing black stones, and maybe black should answer and then white will go back to these stones. But black ignored that move again, and yeah, now white had a chance to prove his point and actually managed to capture black's group, but white's group is now also certainly captured. Who is this result good for? It might look that, oh, white got a lot, white captured black's wall. But how many moves did white lose for doing this? White here answered to the moves of black, but then it lost another move, and then one more time lost center. So it is like white gained these points, but lost 4 moves on it or 3 moves on it. So even if it is 30 points, it gives a value of one move of just 10 points. It's not very big. Probably black is more efficient. We can quickly count points. Black has 10 captured stones, that's already 40 points. Plus here maybe 50, I hope you see it, 55, up to here 65, 73. Then I would say 10 points on the top side plus potential. So for sure black has 85, and black has a lot of potential on the bottom, and it is black's center. And white has how much? 10. So again 20 points for white, then here maybe counting up to here 45 points, and then certainly some potential here, but we count 85 for black and only 45 for white. So white needs to get 40 more points on the left side than black on the bottom side. That sounds like an unfeasible task, especially that it is black center and now black plays from the bottom trying to get even more points here. This was all inefficient for white, so probably white should have continued with this pseudo net, or white shouldn't add so many moves there. White should maybe go out or just make life. But in fact, it's a bit strange because white played this move and black can still cut white with this move at B, so that's why white kept adding more moves, hoping that they will frighten the opponent, but they didn't. Xiao Yicheng here, black, was very brave and just didn't answer to white's moves. So now certainly black has an advantage, and black might play like this, just trying to split the birthday cake as quick as possible. But it's a bit risky way of playing, because we give a lot of points, and even if this is enough for black, well, probably the game becomes closer after such a variation. Just looking at it, white stones are taking points more efficiently than black stones. So instead, black chooses to invade, and it is a very safe way of playing, because certainly this stone will not die. white played nice tesuji here. If black cuts, then of course there will be many weaknesses in black's shape. And then attacks the stone of black. Black jumps out. Here, interesting move of black. Usually we would answer and maybe then continue like this, but black plays this one, hoping to get a better shape after this variation. White first connects, then goes back. Black plays this exchange, and now black decides that these would be too slow moves. White would attack black on the bottom, so it's a good time to now play on the bottom and claim a big territory. And then probably white will add a move and we will add a move and we will just have more points. Yeah, it seems that black will win this game this way. But you can see that these are strong players playing because white is all the time looking for some chance to still change the course of this game. Play the cut first, then this move. Very difficult to answer for black because of the liberty problem. Black chooses the best move even though it's a double empty triangle. White plays Atari once, and where does white find a chance to win this game still? Attacks the group before securing the shape. It looks shaky. Probably black will manage to go out because white's shape is thin. But this is certainly the only chance for white to win. So black now pushed out, found the weak point of white's shape, and then very beautiful move. This push already creates a bit of an eye shape in center. So already here we can count on maybe an eye, maybe there an eye, but for now we can go out. White pushed and black could answer, but decided that this might be risky, so instead jumped. And it looks like black managed to connect everything and still secured quite many points on the bottom, so black should win easily. But white found a weak point in black's shape. This attachment, very good move. If black answers this way, then white can connect the stones. This is the main problem with black's move, that it cuts off white's stones, so white will now struggle and probably not manage to live. But with this tesuji, white can live. Probably black still is good if black can add a move and still not be cut. But black chose a stronger answer. Black didn't let white capture the two stones. It might look like a chance for white to just cut and cut off these stones. Then maybe white wins if these stones die. But in fact, this is a straightforward sequence. White goes like this, connects, but then black plays here, and white cannot get more liberties. This move looks like a tesuji. If black plays here, then white goes here and there. It's a snapback, but black can answer from behind, and then white is dead. Seeing this variation, white chose the wedge immediately, so if now black plays here, it's a different story. Now black might be in trouble, but black just ignored this wedge of white, played from this side. Yeah, white can split black, but black will now simply make life with the group. Black first plays this one, because if now white tries to kill black, then black can continue in this way. White cannot play here. And black can just go out. White Atari first, but then black just had a possibility to make twice. So there was no way to fix this problem, and also the problem of black being able to make the second eye on the side like this, and maybe just like that. White played this move, black plays here, and again, if white tries to fight, then black will go out. Yeah, so now black makes twice, white plays here, black can connect and he will have more points, but he thought he read variations, and it is also a feature of strong players, I believe, that they trust their reading. So it might look like an unnecessary risk to take to connect here, because then white can destroy the eye, but still black played it. White needs to try it, because otherwise white has less points, but then black played this, that. If white goes here, black has two eyes, and if white plays from this side, then black creates another eye on the side, and at this moment white resigned. Fascinating game, even though it was black's advantage from early on. Yeah, thank you for listening, bye bye.